Hey everybody, so this is Wednesday. I'm gonna do some drawing. I was trying to figure out like something to draw today. I found some YouTube clips of different poses that we can start with. I'm gonna do some 1 minute poses just to warm up, and then I think what I'm gonna try and do is like maybe look at the poses and build a character out of it, like maybe an animal or something. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, hopefully you enjoy it. Thanks for joining me, and like we'll see how the day goes. All right, so what I found here is called New Masters Academy on YouTube. These are figure drawing references. They're each 1 minute pose to start with. So I'm going to try and have it focused on the right side so you can see everything on this side, and then right here. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to see the other pose that's there, but we'll see how it goes. All right, I can see both. So always start with the line of action. So her line of action is basically like right here. And then we're going to draw on the shoulders, like where the shoulders might be. And we draw a second line of action. This is like her arm, and this would be like her spine. And then you might want to just draw the straight leg going down like that too. You can see like her hips. I'm talking about the one on the right here. Kind of do that angle, and then her other hand goes like that. Usually I just draw in like the shape of the head and try and just get the general idea of everything out really quickly. I'm drawing a little slower just because I haven't drawn in a while, like the quick poses, but I thought maybe this would be a good exercise for me and for you to do this together. Oh, already on the next pose. So there she is sitting. I'm not sure if I'm going to have enough room. I might try drawing smaller actually for this because it takes up so much space on the page. But now I'm going to try drawing a little quicker. And her arm goes like this. So again, the line of action first. I'm going to go up. And I see her toe does this kind of thing. I want to make sure that the other foot looks like it appears in the foreground a little bit. And matters how much time you have to like do everything, but you know, just try and get like the major part of the poses down. Like her knee is way too high for here. Like her knee should be going about the same as shoulder. All right, we're already on to the next pose. Again, line of action. Now this is like kind of goes like this. That would be the line of action. Or we go this way. And then this arm here. She's looking up. And let's see, hopefully you can see everything okay. Trying new lighting. Just so that it goes a little darker on my, I'm trying to draw a little darker as well. I know some people might be looking on their phones. Hopefully if you're looking on your phone you can still see okay. Flat there, toe kind of points that way. Not sure how much you're going to see on this, but I feel like I keep drawing smaller so I can put more on the page. All right, let's see. Especially when it's a more lengthy pose, and I'm only focused on one part of the paper. I'm only going this far, like even though I know that's all you can see if I'm doing this in a vertical setting. Oh, this one's not good. My drawing's not good on this one. Yeah, this is awkward. Maybe try again. You know, that's why we draw loose. Sometimes I don't even bother drawing over it to try and fix it. Just like I'm just going to start a new drawing. But this is a very interesting pose. It's like you have to I think how she's bending. All right. Let's see. Let's do another. Try going smaller this time, even smaller than it was going. You really want to. One thing that we always talk about in animation is pushing the pose. You don't want to look too still. And that's what helps the line of action, like you exaggerate a little bit. And she has a bun. Sometimes I just throw in little details because it also helps a little bit, like giving direction of where her head is going. Her eyes are up here. Maybe give her too big of a bosom. But now on to the next pose. All right, I'm going to do the right one first. Then maybe if I have time, do the left one, but we'll see. Now this line of action, I would go with like her one leg up, and then let's see, this. She almost looks like kind of looks like a Heisman Trophy pose. All right. Yeah. You know, I'm rusty. I feel like I'm trying to do a lot in a short amount of time, but just do what you can. That's why I have to keep telling myself too. It's like, it doesn't need to be perfect. These are just roughs. These are just to get warmed up. And I definitely need to get warmed up. Draw maybe just some details. Now I know a lot of people that draw a lot faster than me, and I'm probably throwing in too many details. But like I said, it's just how I've always drawn. And if I'm rusty, it feels a lot slower. One thing they always say to do is make sure. Oh, we're on a 2-minute pose, it looks like. That's why I didn't notice. Make sure you have the foot land on the ground. That's like one of the big things. You know, I might just do it over here instead of turning the page again. She's really stretching her back. She looks like she's slightly double jointed in her arm too. Let's see. How well can you see these guys? I'm not sure how many people are joining right now, but you know, I'm gonna probably post it to view later of the recorded video. So if you join me late or just want to watch it again, and again, if you're new, like if you just signed on or you're looking at what I'm doing, this is the New Masters Academy on YouTube. They have different poses, male, female, and these are non-nude poses. I was even going to look for costumed poses, but I figured to just start with like, you know, leotards and stuff. Oops. Not great, but get the idea. Hopefully you can see everything I'm doing. Sometimes I, you know, might even draw like the eyes a little bit to lift up like where her nose is, where her chin is. try doing this one up here. When I go with a longer pose, these are just 2 minutes right now, but if I do like a 5-minute pose, I'll draw a much bigger drawing, like how I started. I just went a little too, you don't have a lot of time, so you want to, you don't want to have a lot of line mileage, as we say. Which I put so much in line mileage. I know I do. I've been told that many times. So something that I'm working on constantly as an artist. Like, all right, I'm not really digging this one. I might just do the second pose on the left. I got a minute with that one, so I'll do it small. Sorry, I got really focused on this drawing. Yeah, just trying to get the pose in. You might want to draw the details of the sleeves and stuff too if you have time. Just remember, this is which hand's on top of the other, how they lay. Part of the reason why I buy newsprint too is cheap, so you can go through a lot of paper and not be so precious about it. So I've been doing life drawing for, gosh, started in college, and then I'm gonna age myself, but it's been 30 years. It's one of the things I just love to do. Like, I was very excited to actually draw a live model. That was something that you just don't get in high school. And back then, like I said, like it was 30 years ago, we didn't have like YouTube or like the internet to like go off of to like find reference. You had to find books. But even at that, I was never very good at just for whatever reason, like on books, I was like, everything felt very still. Like, I mean, obviously it's a picture, but there's some kind of life to it when you have a live model. And this is, it gives a sense of that, but still, it's a still picture. I'd love to see like her move in and out of the poses, opposed to just already having a still pose like this. One thing you'll notice, like when you have a live model, is they're very talented, and they only have so much time to like hold that pose. Like their own body can only hold a pose for so long. So that's why some of these like more like not extravagant, but like stretched out poses and stuff with the arms are like way out. They're easier for a short pose, but you don't want to do that for a long period of time. So that's why if you ever see like long poses, generally they're going to be more in a resting, position, because the model just cannot hold that pose for a long period. And you might see like their muscles shake after a little while, and if it's, even though we might ask them to do a 5-minute pose in a position, they might just be like, they'll apologize and say, can I take a break for a second? And they try and get back into it. But it's understandable. You can only hold it for so long. In fact, there was, in college, sometimes the model wouldn't show up, so like we would have to, volunteer. The students would have to volunteer and go up and just model for the other students at times. And didn't have it all the time. And we all generally probably were doing more long poses than short. Like we weren't doing stuff like this, but you get a sense of like, oh yeah, this is what a model has to deal with. Especially like you just think about like people just staring at you for a long period, and like you have to be, you can't be too self-conscious about anything, because like sometimes an artist might focus on an area that you don't even think of looking at yourself. All right. So I was just going to do this for like the Instagram live for an hour. So I might do these quick sketches just for a little while longer, and then maybe do something a little more, something different, maybe a costume pose that's a little longer or something. Because I was hoping to do like more character stuff too, where it's like, oh, this would be fun to like build a character, like maybe it's a animal in a like this pose or something. A couple of years ago, we had live drawing in Cartoon Network, and at this time I was doing this Instagram like hashtag challenge for Frogist for the month of August, but you had to draw frogs. And it was like in the middle of that, I was at the life drawing, and so I was like, you know what, I'm just going to draw the model as a frog. So I have all these poses of a frog, like in like a model's pose. Some were like nude. One was a nude model for 1 week, and the following week or a couple weeks after, I can't remember, but it was like a model just like a postman. So it was fun just to challenge myself that way, and trying to figure that out. Oh, this is a long pose. I didn't even check at that. So now it's a long pose. I see there's 3 minutes left. I might go back in and just try and fix some things. That's the nice thing about China marker, is that you can go pretty light and then go really dark on top of it and touch up those details. I like how her thumb is just kind of hovering there. I might have put her other arm too high. Like it should be lower. You notice too when I draw, I don't stay focused on one thing. I keep drawing around because it helps me like go back and get kind of get excited about like, oh, I missed that bit. I'll go back in and fix it. So yeah, I'll pretty much go back, do a couple. I'm going to focus on this leg, and then go back around and be like, oh, I got to focus back on that arm that I didn't get quite right. Because if you go over things like, oh yeah, this isn't perfect. It's not supposed to be perfect, but it's like, this could be better if I just like raise the shoulder, lower this shoulder, and do some details on the face. Probably, I love China marker, but it's really hard to do small details. That's the only thing that's the issue with the China marker. You kind of just do like a general idea. Yeah. I think I drew her torso too long, but you know, it is what it is. Be aware of it for next time. Again, these are just exercises. Nothing's going to be perfect. But at the same time, I do like to share my drawings of my exercises, because sometimes I can be pretty proud of what I've done in a short amount of time, or just like getting the essence of the character or model. Yeah, I drew it too close, but you do what you do. All right, so now we're on the still 5-minute poses. I think I'm just going to focus on the right one. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining. All right, so kind of going heavy here. But, so yeah, I'm going to draw the line of action again. It's an S shape. And let's see, the shoulders are up a little bit on one side over the other. The hands go up like this. You kind of go on an angle. The arms, the forearms. You gotta bring this shoulder over this way. And I'm gonna go a little lighter on this because I want to put in more of the details later and also get some stuff right now that I'm fully aware that they're 5-minute poses. When you're in a life drawing class, you'll get like, you know, if there's a class or there's just like an uninstructed class even, usually someone calls out, okay, we're gonna do 5-minute poses, so you're aware of it. But I have the screen blocking the clock, so couldn't see that. I hope everyone can hear me okay. I don't have a microphone or anything. I'm just kind of, man, it's a little heavy over, like her, pushed it too far. But, oh well. Like some people will do this and measure it and stuff. I usually just eyeball it. I think I used to do that a lot, but it's like, it never feels quite accurate. It almost feels like this shoulder is like about the same space this way. Yeah, I drew the legs too far that way. So, I'm trying to do a little correcting because I pushed the hip out way too far. The leg should be here. This knee should be more over here. As you can see, I am not perfect. And it's something that I deal with on a daily basis. I am who I am. This is how I draw. I'm always trying to get better. I simply love to draw. And I just have to keep telling myself I am constantly a work in progress. This is not, everyone's a work in progress. Who you were yesterday is not the same as you are today. Every life experience changes things. I'm not loving it, but I'm going to keep going at it. You're your own worst critic. I think her chin goes down like that. Yeah, I drew her hands way too high too. I feel like it's more fun sometimes when you do just make a character instead of trying to be like, oh, this is going to be a perfect drawing. I'm going to make a perfect drawing. Nothing's going to be a perfect drawing. I mean, there's people that do it, but not for me. I'm always amazed that people can just like make something look photorealistic with just a pencil. But a lot of that has to do with not only patience, but also just the confidence in yourself too, that I can do this. Yeah, you see, like I drew the hip way too far out this way, and I'm trying to correct it because I was pushing the knee out and everything that way. But and now the hand. Even if I don't see it, I might just draw like, so I know there's a bun back there, so I was going to draw the bun. All right, how's everyone doing? Hey, Scotty. All right, let's see. Try, you know what? Let's try something different. Let's see. I pulled up a bunch of just costume figure drawing, and this is what came up. There was a cowboy I thought looked pretty interesting earlier. This guy, I think I've actually drawn him a few times. So this is Draw This, again on YouTube. I'm not sure if they have the clock on or not. But that's the thing about drawing costume stuff. It's hiding a lot of like the things you wouldn't normally see in a figure drawing, like either naked or in a leotard. You know, where the muscles are, where the bones are, everything, how it lines up. But so you can hide a lot of that with a costume. But with a costume, don't get too caught up in the details. Try and simplify the details. You can still get the essence of what they're wearing by just drawing it more simply, trying to, you know, focus more on, don't focus too crazy on the wrinkles. Like you'll probably see on this jacket, he'll have a lot of wrinkles in the coat, or a lot of pockets, or his handkerchief around his neck. It might have a lot of wrinkles. So let's see. I thought it'd go already. So as you can see here, let's see. I don't know if they have a clock. Oh yeah, that's right. I drew this. I did this life drawing before, and when I was on Baby Shark, I drew Baby Shark as this guy, because we were going to do a Western episode, and so I thought I was just trying to loosen myself up. Why would they do that? I don't need the. Oh, it's over there. No, this isn't the best setup. I'm going to try something else. I didn't know they're going to focus on. Let's see. My apologies, everybody. This is me trying to figure this out. I had a DVD I was going to do, but I wasn't happy with the DVD. It was just, it's all about motion, and I wanted more poses. Okay, not him. Well, we'll try this one, see what this is. Ready to draw, join us. The GES Draw Party. Okay, let's see how this goes. Oh, good. Okay, this is similar to what that other one was. Let's see. So this will be a 1-minute pose. And this is exactly what I was talking about. I'd rather have... Oh, okay. He's even like miming it. So I get a sense of like, oh, he's trying to hold a pane of glass or something, like a window. But yeah, you can see like it's very easy to get caught up in the details, especially on a short pose. kind of put this one, I might push a little more. For those of you that are drawing with me, or you know, have done this for a while, you'll probably be like, "Why are you doing that?" Well, everyone draws differently, and okay, now he's picking up something. It looks like a pole, I guess. Let's see. Let me think. What should we do? Like an animal? Maybe not yet. It's still loosened up. Maybe for the longer poses. All right, so his shoulder's like up here, and he's pulling, so the arm kind of goes like this, and this arm's over here. So let's see, his chest, it kind of has that kind of feeling, and line of action of his head is going the other way. So the cap helps a little bit to give you a sense of like which way his head is going. But see how his like body's moving? This is something you always have to adjust with like drawing a live model, that they're gonna move. So just do what you can to keep it close to what you have. Hi, Mary. Alright, let's see. Again, the cap helps a lot with the direction. Let's see. Putting something in place. Of course, getting a call at this point. Alright, let's see. Sawing pole that he just put down. Alright, let's do this. I apologize if anyone was trying to join me last week. My daughter got strep throat, and I was home with her, and I was just like, okay, I can't do the drawing session while my daughter's in the other room not feeling well, and especially because I know if she needs something, I'd have to like just leave the video call, and I didn't want to do that to anybody. I just felt it'd be rude to her, it'd be rude to people that are trying to follow me. So yeah, that's why I skipped it last week. I'm going to try and do these every Wednesday at 10. Today I had a dentist appointment, so I had to go. It was at 10 o'clock. So that's why I made it to 11 instead. Now, since his leg was up here, I'm going to keep drawing this, even though, because he keeps moving while he's trying to get to the next pose. But I want to make sure that I have like, okay, well, where's his other foot going? Don't just like have it resting midair. So hopefully you can see that. Let's see. Again, he's got his leg up, kind of twisted, his foot kind of twisted in. I wasn't really paying attention to what he was doing, so it looked like he was trying to break something. I'm hoping as I continue doing this, like if I do this weekly, hopefully I get better myself. Like I'm just doing this to like continue drawing, but also show what I can do. I appreciate that he's like doing the action ahead of time so we know what he's doing instead of just getting into a pose. Looks like he's got like a sledgehammer in his hands. We could probably even draw like this sledgehammer. This is a 2-minute pose, so we got a little extra time to draw. And this cuff goes a little short because it's bunching up at his elbow and his shoulder. This hand should be further down here. Like I said, like it's harder when there's clothing, especially this is kind of like a baggy clothing, so you can't really tell where some of the muscles are. But at the same time, it can help you hide other things that you normally couldn't hide. When they're naked or in a leotard or something, or along those lines. I feel like this should be like this. Let's see. All right. I hope to have a better plan next week of like what I want to do. I feel like last time I did this 2 weeks ago, I had no idea what I was going to do. I just kind of like, all right, grabbed a DVD, that's what I was going to do. And I had a bit of a plan today to do that again, but I didn't like the DVD. It was a DVD from Rhino House that did the animal ones. But it's all humans. And like I said, it's like all motion, but I've never opened it. It was still in its cellophane. So I thought, oh, I'll open it and see what this is. I can't believe I had it for like, I don't know, 15 years. Never opened it. So I was like, all right, this is the day I'm going to do it. We'll discover this together when I share online. And then I'm like, these poses are kind of goofy. Or they're moving too much or something. And I'm like, I just kind of wanted like standard poses. Or not standard, but like your standard setup of like time poses. So yeah, then that's why I went to YouTube just right before I signed on. Like, okay, this is what I'm going to do instead. Normally I don't talk that much when I draw. If you're in a class, usually the instructor's talking, or you're just there's music playing, so you're being very mindful of other people and like their focus. So this is kind of new to me as well, just to keep talking. I hope you are okay with me talking so much. Otherwise, I think this would be a pretty boring Instagram live if I was just like in silence as you watch me draw. But I don't know. Looks like. So Mary, no, it's actually on YouTube that I'm looking at. Um, so I guess that, yes, it is an app if you call YouTube an app. These are just the GES Draw Party is like apparently they have a bunch of different ones. I've never used this one before. I just was looking around today. It looks like now he's planting seeds, so maybe he was hoeing. The Mary I'm talking to right now is Mary Bellinger. We went to middle school and high school together, and we took a lot of art classes together in high school. I really do love to draw, but there's days where this is one of those days where it's like, I wish I was drawing better. Some days it just hit you, you're like, I'm on top of the world, I can draw anything. And other days you're just like, or you might only get like one good drawing, but you're just so excited about that one good drawing. This day I feel like I'm just doing very mediocre, if just not even great drawings, to tell you the truth. But again, I'm my own worst critic. Okay, now he's brushing sweat away from his face. Better silhouette and line of action here. Push the pose a lot more, like he's more in a resting pose, but so you can see like this shoulder goes up and this hip goes up because this leg is straight while this leg is more extended. And then this arm is coming down here, coming up to his face. And then fixing his shoulder a little bit. Sorry if you guys are messaging me and I'm not looking back. It's like, it's hard to, with the phone behind me, to be paying attention as I'm trying to draw what's on the screen. I'm not ignoring you. It's just I can't do things at the same time. Maybe I need another setup. I don't know. It's all a learning curve for me. I've never, up until 2 weeks ago, I've never done this before. Drawing for other people, like showing my process, talking while drawing. This is like my own kind of therapy where I'm like, okay, I need to build up my confidence that I can talk in front of people better and not be so concerned about what people think of how I'm drawing or what I'm drawing. Ugh. Now he's on a smoke break. Doesn't he know smoking's bad for you? Sorry, my opinion. The problem with China marker is that you have to unravel to sharpen it, basically, to get down to it. Same thing with charcoal. But yeah, so I might just take a minute just to readjust here and ignore this pose for the time being, because the hinges are starting to pull over the side. But let me look. Well, thanks for stopping by, Mary. Yeah, I'm not sure how many people are on right now, but I appreciate you sticking around with me, just seeing what I'm doing. Oh, look at that. You can't even see what I'm drawing anyway. I apologize so much. Let's see if I can fix that. I didn't even know. You can just see the clock. Let's do it this way. I'm sorry, everybody. There we go. How's that? Better? You can see the clock. I can't. But this is a long pose, so it's now a little less than 4 minutes, so I'm just going to try and knock something out. Yeah, I apologize. I thought everyone could see that I was the model. Again, I need a better setup, I think, but learning process. So drawing really light because it's like 4-minute pose. I'd rather just get some kind of like gesture out at least, and then I can go back in with the details a little better. This arm could be a little more extended. And this is one of the things, like now he's in a longer pose, I'm seeing more of those details that I said would probably be best to ignore. And I have to remind myself, don't focus on that. Don't focus on the details so much. You're just trying to get the gesture and the main pose out. So now I think everyone can agree that hands are not the best things to draw. And I feel like feet are also hard for me to draw, even with shoes on. I tend to draw them really flat. I think that's why I like drawing quick and fast, because I don't have to worry about that. But you will all, no matter, as an artist, if you're drawing people, you're going to have to draw hands and feet at some point. Unless you're just drawing faces or upper, torso and bust. Imagine if you're listening to me, you might be yelling, stop getting caught up in the details. I hear you, because that's what I'm telling myself. So I think last time I spoke, I talked about one instructor who was a big influence on me, Mike Matisse. Another who I consider kind of a friend, because we've had so many of these drawing sessions together at the different animation studios I worked at, is Mark McDonald. just a really good guy, really knowledgeable, super, super talented. Um, he teaches at Cartoon Network. He'll teach at Disney. I think he teaches at CalArts, Nickelodeon. Um, and yeah, it's like I just love following him on Instagram. But also I like just going to his classes when I can. All right, let's see. There's GES. Are you guys enjoying this? Is this okay? Um, let's see. Let's just do a couple more. Try this one. Yeah, I think next time I'll figure this out better. I apologize if you had different expectations of what I was going to do today. I might even tell you ahead of time. One of my friends, so my nickname is Option Joe. That's my account. A friend of mine I went to college with gave it to me years ago while we were in college. And the story is that we were working on the Macs, and we had iMacs, and I was trying to copy files, and I just was moving them. I wasn't copying them. If you know Apple products very well, so you have to hit Option, and that's where my name came from. I was just moving files, not copying them. And Pierre yelled out, "Option, Joe, Option." Pretty lame name for my nickname, but it stuck with me. He always calls me Option Joe or just Option. And that's what I changed my email address like immediately to Option Joe. That's what my account is, everything. And there's a few people that still call me Option Joe, just not a lot. Some of my close friends. So I was telling my friend last week that I was doing these drawing things and trying to think of like what I could do, and he said, "Oh, maybe you could like set up where people could suggest like what to draw." And I'm like, "Oh, it could be like options for Option Joe." And so that's what I was thinking of doing. Or give Joe some options or something like that. So that might be something I try in the future. Like draw this week, because I think that's what I'm going to need. And I love a challenge too. So I mean, that's what drawing is. A bunch of challenges. I'm trying to draw this person right now. I'm not drawing it great because I'm cutting off her arm right now, like her hand's way up here, but then trying to readjust, it's a challenge. So it's a challenge for myself to try and figure out like where everything's going to be. Well, I got about 5 minutes left, it looks like. Maybe I'll do some as characters now. Let's see, what could she be? What kind of animal? Anybody want to suggest an animal? Like I feel like a cat, maybe? I don't know. Longer poses might work better because I'm trying to draw this really quick and I'm drawing details on her face, which I should be focused more on like what her pose is. But yeah. but maybe just for the last few minutes. And then oh, she dove for the ball. Good job. Did she get it? Did she miss? Who knows? Sorry, I got so focused on what I was drawing, I wasn't talking. So hopefully you guys are enjoying this. Let's see, like the tail would probably go like that if she was diving. All right, so just about 3 more minutes. I hope you guys are enjoying this. I just love drawing. I can't say it enough. It helps me feel like I accomplished something today, and like where I'm also pushing myself to be better at just the skill that I love to have. And I just plan on not being so rusty anymore, and I feel like I moved this leg too much that way. But anyway, yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying it. I'll set out a video next week, like a reel next week, of just like what my plan might be for that week. And then I think it might be like the option, give Joe some options. So this one doesn't even look like she's about to set up the volleyball. It looks like she's just like, I'm happy. Yay. Oh, so happy. Is she getting signals in that pose? All right. I think it might be about time, everybody. Anyway, so thanks for joining me. Again, oh man, you can't even see the pose. That's the pose I was doing. But yeah, I got to get a better setup for this. But I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll be doing hopefully every week, about 10 a.m. on Wednesdays. Winsday, I'll call it. And thanks for joining me. Take care.